Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the Liberty for Philly podcast. Once again, I'm Mitchell. That's Jared, and joining us for the first time in a while, it's Mr. Alec Eskin. Alec, how are you doing today?
I'm doing just lovely there, Mitchell. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And we'll just start off a little high school football. Obviously, if you didn't catch it, I was the play-by-play announcer for the Downingtown West versus Downingtown East football game. So if you want to go check it out, it'll be linked in the description below, as well as you can just go back and check our previous tweets. But in that game, East won. Jared, do you have any thoughts to say about the game?
East was Easting, and Wickersham should be a punter. But seriously, you had him by the throat, and of course the student section chants "It's all over," and then they proceed to blow the game. And but thanks to some series of events in the last couple minutes, East takes the lead and wins the game.
And then
I should not have lost 20 years off of my life watching that game. That's what I'm saying.
And Alec, would you like to describe what Garnet Valley did this past Friday?
I mean, they only won by like 40-something points, right?
Yeah, only.
Yeah, going into the final week of regular season in high school football too. It'll be interesting. We'll do our high school football playoff predictions. That will come.
District 1 only, please.
District 1 only. We only care about District 1.
Yeah.
And then also next week, NCAA March Madness. No, not March Madness. NCAA men's basketball preview. It's the same thing, literally.
Yeah, it's absolutely the same thing.
Just to give you a little teaser, here's the top 25 of the NCAA basketball. It's Gonzaga, obviously, number 1. Unranked, UCLA goes to the 2 spot. Kansas, which was ranked 12th in the last AP
Okay, no one cares about
3.
last year's rankings. That was last year. We want this year.
Gonzaga, UCLA, Kansas, Villanova 4. Texas 5, Michigan 6, Purdue 7, Baylor. Joe Biden's just peek being through the back of Alec's background. Anyways, 7 is Purdue, Baylor is 8, Duke is 9, Kentucky's 10, Illinois is 11, Memphis is 12, Oregon's 13, Alabama's 14, Houston's 15, Arkansas 16, Ohio State 17, Tennessee 18, North Carolina 19, FSU 20, Maryland 21, Auburn 22, St. Bonaventure 23.
Why do you say Auburn like there's an L instead of a U? I mean, yes, they
got an L at Penn State this year.
Yeah, that's football, not basketball.
Anyways, 24, UConn, 25, Virginia, and others receiving the votes is Michigan State, Indiana, USC, Arizona, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, Xavier, Texas Tech, Richmond, and Rutgers.
Who remembers the good old days when Indiana was like the top 3 team consistently? Yeah, I do. I want those days back. No, I don't. But wait, what number was Duke again?
Like 10 or 9, I want to say. They're top 10. I know that. All right. And that leads us in to college football. Let's start with our top 25 rankings.
Why don't we start with Penn State?
How about we just? I don't think they played this week. I don't
talk about this game. 9 overtimes. It's a record because the 2-point shootout.
All right, can we at least admit it was a good game in terms of length? Can we admit that?
Sean Clifford played injured. The end.
Yeah, he shouldn't have played. I think this game would have actually turned out differently if we played our backup quarterback. Going back to
I think they would have lost in regulation if they played their.
Well, we would have had a quarterback that was able to run the ball into the end zone instead of being like Aaron Rodgers and not running the ball from 5-yard line.
That's the problem. You wouldn't have been able to pass it.
The weather conditions were bad anyways. Plus, we didn't even throw a passing. We only threw one.
Just stop making excuses. They know you. You know they would have lost.
I literally said I was depressed after the game and did not want to talk about it. Literally, there's nothing I can say about this.
You can blame my Uncle Eric.
Okay, moving on. New AP Top 25 for Georgia 1, Cincinnati 2. We'll get to their results in a little bit. That game was interesting. Alabama 3, Oklahoma 4, Ohio State stays at 5. Michigan stays at 6. Oregon moves up to 7. Michigan State moves up 1 spot to 8. Iowa moves up 2 spots to 9. Ole Miss moves up 2 spots to 10. Notre Dame moves up 2 spots to 11. Kentucky moves up 3 spots to 12. Wake Forest, after a very interesting game, they are still undefeated though, moves up to 13. Texas A&M's 14. OK State, after dropping a game to Iowa State, drops to 15. Baylor moves down to 16. Moves up to 16. Pitt, after not playing down to the competition, actually moves up to 17.
Duke is 9, by the way. Oh, and imagine saying this: Pitt not playing down to Clemson, It's like we're in some sort of parallel universe. 2021. That
Auburn moves to 18. SMU's 19. Depressing team number 5 and 2 is now 20th in the nation. We will not go
9
into the.
overtimes.
All right, that's still cool though. I mean, I saw the 4 overtime
No,
game
that's
against
just pure
Michigan.
ineptitude. It would have been nicer if
I don't like this
overtime
college
before.
overtime rules. I miss the old ones. I think the 2-point conversion rule thing's kind of dumb, to be
I
honest.
think they should just push it back to 5
That's-
overtimes like they had a couple years
And
ago.
fun fact, Penn State is not 19th because of 2 votes. They were
Fun
gave them.
fact, they still lost in 9 overtimes. I'm gonna keep bringing this game up, Mitchell. Go ahead, mute me.
Jared is now gone. Anyways, San Diego State's 21. Iowa State's.
What?
Turn on your camera.
What?
You can't. I can't remember.
You can't break again, Jared.
No, he just did. He's not letting me. There we go.
Iowa State moves up to 22. University of Texas San Antonio. It will be one of the new teams in the American Conference is 23.
Oh, they are?
Yes, they've been accepted to the American Conference. We will also talk about that in the coming seconds. Coastal Carolina drops to 24 after losing to Appalachian State. BYU moves to 25.
Back
And then
up to
others
25.
receiving votes are Arkansas, Louisiana, Lafayette, NC State, Houston, Virginia, Oregon State, Arizona State, Texas, Appalachian State, Florida only had 3 votes. Minnesota gets 1, and UCLA gets 1 vote.
Minnesota. Ugh.
Teams, as we know, we know
Minnesota.
we know UCF, Cincinnati, and BYU are all joining the Big 12.
So it's going to be the Big 13 then, or no, Big 11.
I think that's how math works. I don't know, Jared. Anyways,
Wait,
American-
BYU is really joining the Big 12. Ugh, they're idiots. So it's UCF and Cincinnati. You said right?
So the 3 so new teams are joining is UAB, so University of Alabama, Birmingham, UTSA, Rice, North Texas, Charlotte, and Florida Atlantic.
Oh, my one cousin actually goes to North Texas, and there's some Temple fans out here, and I don't know. I'm just saying.
Anyway, now let's go look back at the results of some of the games. Obviously, first game last week was Coastal Carolina losing to Appalachian State. SMU blew out Tulane, and Cincinnati was kind of on an upset alert for almost 3 quarters against Navy. Navy put up a good fight. Hey, it was going to be tied at halftime. Then Navy decided to attempt a 51-yard field goal, which got blocked, and Cincinnati got a field goal because of it. So yeah. Then we have this game that did not occur at Penn State.
Yes.
We're just not going to talk about it.
Overtimes, because offense is not a thing when it comes to Happy Valley.
No, I think
Man, I
you're our
really can't
favorite
wait.
person. You're in a put
Yeah,
it best.
9 overtimes,
Illinois,
you
Penn State. This has been a fun. No, this is Penn State. This has been Penn State. This has been a fun game. How about you win? No, Illinois, you've put up a great fight. You win. No, you. I said take it. So it was basically one of those things.
Yes, it was because they were trying to refuse to hand each other the game. And yes, Penn State will obviously be beating Ohio State. Am I right, Mitchell? Comment down below.
It will
on the
happen.
side. What the frick? This meeting has been upgraded by the now includes unlimited minutes. Whoa. Okay. Anyway,
No,
put it in
anyways,
the side or
Michigan,
below if you think Ohio State will lose.
Michigan will beat Michigan State. Ohio State will lose to Michigan.
You think Michigan's
Penn-
going to beat Michigan State?
No. I'll get to my crazy stuff when we get to it. I have madness. Okay. Anyways, Michigan played down Northwestern for like 3 quarters and then proceeded to actually play them like they were actually a good team. Kansas was beating Oklahoma for like half this game, and then Kansas
No, they
ended the
didn't,
game.
Mitchell. That was just 1 quarter where offense wasn't a thing, and
And
then
then
they
we
realized
want to
they
talk
had
about this
defense.
basketball game that happened the other day. Wake Forest beat Army 70-56. I mean, so many great 3-pointers. I'm just kidding. That was football, and
Well, that's because that's just
Yeah, Mitchell. At the end of 3, they're up 27-7. Michigan was, but yeah, seriously, what the heck is defense anymore?
yeah.
The
And
Big 12.
then-
The Big 12 is dropping their jaws in envy. Okay.
and then
It's just like, come on, do something now.
BYU.
Oh, wait,
beat
there was a
Washington.
pick 6. I forgot to mention that. Wake Forest did get a pick 6. Okay, now
Yeah,
I
it
know.
was the only interception of the game. And then BYU won by 2 against Washington State. Clemson
man.
lost to Pittsburgh. Ole Miss beat LSU. Oregon beat UCLA by 3. Iowa State beat Oklahoma State by 3. Alabama destroyed Tennessee. Aztecs beat
I
Air
wouldn't
Force.
say it was much of a destruction. I'd say it was they didn't really because it was actually I believe like a 3-point game or something like that going into the fourth quarter, and then Alabama
just a
scored
lot of
28 straight
blowouts.
points.
But now that leads us to week 9 of college football. We got Troy versus Coastal Carolina. Let's just speed through these games. That we don't
Easy,
really care.
Coastal
Yeah, Coastal
Carolina.
Carolina.
This was
Alec,
4 years
Coastal
ago.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Who remembers when Troy beat LSU? Good times, I know.
they're always a team that's like, hey, they're not bad. They're actually in the top 25. But then when they actually play a good team, things tend to go downhill.
Yeah. Texas Baylor. I'm gonna have Baylor here.
Justin, would you like to talk about the Wake Forest game yesterday? Watching Wake Forest win, but like 70 to whatever, it was quality. Wake Forest is undefeated. Maybe I was right. Who knows?
Justin's weird prediction of Wake Forest winning the ACC might come true.
I said they're going to go undefeated. They have not lost a game yet. Keyword.
Wait, so is the ACC championship right now? Pitt versus Wake Forest.
I actually don't. I think they're in the same division, aren't they?
What's Alec doing at Citizens Bank Park?
It's just his background, Justin.
Yes, Jared. I know it's not even daytime anymore.
No, actually, he's got a nice Joe Biden right there.
Look, share that screen. Share that screen.
I can't. I'm not allowed to. No, don't. I don't need to share that screen. It's okay. Yeah. So they've got Duke, North Carolina, and remember when you thought
56.
Remember when you thought North Carolina was going to win their division in the ACC, Mitchell? Okay, so they've got Duke, so North Carolina, NC State, at Clemson, and then Boston College. So pretty much that Clemson's their hardest game, and it would be Wake Forest and Pitt. Yeah, you're right. That is the weirdest prediction. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
If you said that in the beginning, that Pitt and Wake Forest would be leading their respective.
One of those teams. If Wake Forest honestly goes undefeated, I could see them getting into the college.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to go to the. Wait, is the Orange Bowl a playoff game this year?
Is it? It's Rose Bowl.
It's Cotton Bowl. It's Cotton Bowl.
No, the Rose Bowl was last year. Rose and Cotton.
It's Cotton and Sugar. I'm thinking it's Cotton and Sugar.
No,
right?
Sugar was last year with Rose.
Well, it's Cotton, and it's whatever the first year was.
I think
it was the year Michigan State was in it.
The year Michigan State in it was Cotton and Peach.
No, it's not Peach. Peach is open this year. Actually, no, Peach is not open. I don't know. While Jared figures that out, let's go Miami versus Pitt. I have Pitt winning. Do we all agree on Pitt?
Wait a minute. Oh, is it at Pitt? Then yeah.
Yeah. Cincinnati, Tulane. Cincinnati will win. All right, our first big game. We got Michigan versus Michigan State. I'm gonna have Michigan winning this game.
Agreed. Michigan.
Oh no, it is indeed a college football playoff game this year. It's orange and cotton, I want to say.
Okay, so that was when Michigan State was in it.
Yeah, no, Michigan State. It was actually Clemson, Oklahoma that year. Michigan's and Alabama, or Michigan State and Alabama was the Cotton Bowl. Mm-hmm. I think.
And then I have Michigan winning. Everybody agree, except probably Jared, who has Michigan
State against Michigan State. Now Michigan State's looked terrible, but Michigan has been. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be the year that Jim Harbaugh does his patented disappointment here. So I'm going to go Michigan.
He will not beat Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State this year.
All three of them? No, he'll beat Penn. I think he'll beat at least one.
Jared, even though Penn State is a bad
team,
think
Penn State's going to beat Ohio State, Mitchell. Just shush.
If Penn State wins out, he would have beaten Michigan, Michigan State, and Ohio State, which are the top 3 teams in the division.
Shut it.
And watch it happen.
Shut
okay.
It.
Anyways, Iowa, Wisconsin. I think Iowa wins. Everybody agree? Iowa.
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
Wisconsin.
Where?
At Wisconsin. Just so you know, from now on, it's whatever the second team I say is the home team. So if it's Iowa State, West Virginia, it's at West Virginia.
Yeah, no, this year it's the orange and cotton. I don't know which game is going to be which though.
All right, West Virginia will beat Iowa State.
Yeah, that's fair.
Texas Tech, Oklahoma. Oklahoma will win.
Oklahoma.
Yep, Oklahoma. Yeah, they'll do.
Florida, Georgia line.
Take that on Georgia line. That's going to be Georgia. Easy.
Yeah. Colorado, Oregon.
Hey, fun fact. Hey, Mitchell, where's the game?
Jacksonville.
There you go.
Colorado, Oregon. It will be Oregon.
Oregon State will win that game. Yeah, Oregon's gonna win.
All right, then undefeated Wake Forest takes on Duke. I think Wake
Duke is
Forest wins
terrible.
here. Who does Wake Forest play for the rest of the year? I think they play.
I just
Still talking
mentioned
about
it
Wake
like
Forest?
2 minutes. Yeah, no, we're doing like the predictions for next week. I already mentioned it's Duke, North Carolina, NC State, Clemson, and Boston College.
They'll probably only lose to Clemson if anything.
I think Clemson is going to be their game that they lose, if any of them. Maybe
right.
NC State because, well, it's NC State.
And then next we have Kansas versus Oklahoma
Justin, do you
State.
think Wake Forest is
It'll
going to
be-
win next week?
It'll be Oklahoma State. Ole Miss, Auburn. It's probably gonna be Ole Miss. SMU, Houston. SMU, right?
Yeah, SMU, yeah.
SMU.
Have they announced where college game day is going yet, Jared?
A good question.
All right, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Kentucky will win because
Wait, who
Penn
was
State
SMU playing?
bias.
I didn't make my prediction.
Houston,
Yeah. Okay. SMU. And then what's the game that you just said?
Kentucky, Mississippi State. Penn State bias. Kentucky will win.
Excuse me. Where's the game? It's
Mississippi
at
State.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, it is. Hello. Wait. Oh right, that's their yearly shtick, isn't it? Yeah, because Ole Miss plays Vanderbilt. So if it's at Mississippi State, I'm gonna go Mississippi State.
You already know what my prediction is going to be, but a Penn State, Ohio State.
I'm going with Ohio State on this.
Be any logical person
can't-
choose Ohio State, but then there's Mitchell who chooses Penn State.
I can't see Penn State winning after what happened.
Exactly.
Thing was, it would have been
Uh,
one thing if we
fully
lost
healthy.
because of our offense and not our defense. But our defense allowed the most rushing yards we've ever had, and Penn State, Ohio State does have a good running back. So I have to say Penn State because I'm biased, but to be honest, if we don't stop the run, this game's gonna be over sooner rather than later. And but then again, it'll probably come down to a final something and we'll choke. Anyways, UNC Notre Dame. It will be Notre Dame winning this game.
North Carolina, Notre Dame. I guess I got
Notre Dame, yeah, easy. So it's going to be, I mean, obviously it's going to either be Florida, Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan, Michigan State. And my guess is going to be Florida, Georgia. Oh,
They won't do Florida, Georgia. Because they already did Georgia.
They chose Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah. You didn't think that? They chose that to be their Saturday night game.
Oh, wait a second. This was last year. Hello. Never mind.
No, but they will do Penn State, Ohio State.
No, they do. That doesn't mean anything.
They
'cause,
won't
I
do
feel like half the games
SEC.
haven't
They'll
been
send
tonight.
Tim Tebow and Pat Feinbaum or whatever his name is down there.
Paul Feinbaum. Thank you.
Besides, they already did Florida and Georgia already this year. They haven't done
They've
Ohio
already
State at
done
all.
Penn State this year.
They'll go to Ohio State and they'll go to Michigan. Those are like the two games they'll do.
I mean, when Michigan, they'll probably do Michigan, Ohio State in a few weeks, but
They're not going to Auburn. They're definitely not going
oh,
to.
6 years ago, you know where the Week 9 location of the 2015 season was, where College Game Day was?
No.
Temple. Notre
Oh,
Dame
was it the Temple Notre Dame?
Yes,
Because
it
it was
was.
Halloween. That's right. And
That
then Virginia and BYU. BYU probably, right?
What? Sorry,
Virginia, BYU.
Virginia's playing BYU. BYU.
And then Fresno State.
Usually they announce the
Wait,
game.
Alec,
day
what did you say?
by now.
I'm going Virginia on this.
Interesting. And then Fresno State, San Diego State. I'll go
San Diego State. They normally announce the game day location by this week, but they haven't done that yet. So.
They usually do it on Mondays.
No, they did it. They've done it on Sunday the past few weeks.
Well, if they would have like
How old are you, Justin?
if they would have chosen Penn State, it would have already been on like Twitter and everything.
Liverpool beat Man United 5-0. They scored
Yes.
4 goals in the first
Damn,
half,
son.
and then in the second half, Man United got a red card, and then Liverpool pulled the plug and didn't score again.
That's all.
And
Huh?
that just leads to the point of where Man United will sack their manager for Steve Bruce.
Isn't Man United still good though?
Well, they have all the good players. Whether or not they use them correctly is
Okay.
up to the manager, and he hasn't done that. So,
Yeah, they have not chosen a Week 9 location yet. They'll decide tomorrow probably.
but that finishes our NCAA section. But that leads us to Sixers. Sixers season has officially started under the way. Alec, what's your early impressions of the Sixers team so far?
I think they're better than I thought they would be.
They should be 3-0.
If they'd be 3-0 right now, if it weren't for Doc Rivers and his inability to challenge a call.
Yeah.
Sixers basketball. I don't care.
Whoever that assistant, Doc Rivers blamed it on his assistant for saying thumbs down, but if that's the case, that assistant should be fired for what.
Yeah, that was
Alex
clearly
wanting people fired. Hold on a second.
But I think it's also Doc Rivers just trying to pass off blame because he made a bad choice again.
Mitchell, I got something to say. When Alec doesn't want somebody fired after one mistake, we're living in a parallel universe.
No, this is going back to last year too. If this guy decides whether to challenge it or
You
not,
wanted this guy fired last year too, buddy.
Well, the new thing in the NBA is, Alec, usually they would review those things without a coach's challenge. However, now you need a coach's challenge because of game flows reasons. So, yeah.
Yeah, because nobody likes logic.
But today, Steph Curry popped off. Everybody on the team did well. And as they rolled past the Oklahoma City Thunder, which means their next game will be against, I want to say, well, apparently Ben Simmons is close to returning to the team. And I bet you he'll literally dunk it in his own basket and walk off the court. But yeah, they played the Knicks.
It's going to be like the Pierre-Luc Dubois situation with Columbus. He's going to like half-heartedly go out there.
What I think, to be honest, the Sixers I think actually played better without Ben Simmons because
They are.
The floor opens up. It's clear because Maxey can play. Because he can play off ball and shoot.
Yeah, and that's to be a worse thing is with like Maxey. Like if you're bringing Ben back and replacing Maxey after he's been really good so far this year, you're literally gonna ruin his development. Such as who was the Phillies player this year that go when they returned? It was Phil Maton. Had Nick Maton. He was doing well. They replaced him with Didi Gregorius, and then when they want Nick Maton to do good again, he's not good because you didn't play him for like half 2 weeks. So obviously that leads to some bad problems. But yeah, and then now transitioning to the Flyers, they are 1-1. They're 2-1-1 this year after dropping their first. They won. Nope, they won 2 games, Kraken and Bruins. And then they lost in a shootout to the Canucks, and then they lost to the the Panthers in regulation.
So aren't they? I thought they're 2-2-1 now.
No, they've only played 4 games.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. They're 2-1-1. So who they lose to in the shootout again? Oh yeah, Vancouver, and then they killed Seattle, and they beat the Bruins, and yeah, you're right. And they play at Edmonton, They got the Northwest. They got the Western Canada trip coming up.
Yeah, Western Canada. Then they come home.
But they go Edmonton and Vancouver. What's the point of that? You should.
I guess they stop there, go there, and then they come back to Calgary, and then they fly home from Calgary, then play Arizona, go to Pittsburgh,
at Pittsburgh, at Washington, Toronto, at Carolina, at Dallas, Calgary, Tampa, Boston again, at Tampa, at Florida, Carolina, Thanksgiving. Well, I think Thanksgiving's around that point.
They would play the Hurricanes, and then it would be Thanksgiving.
And then it's at New Jersey after that.
Well, to be fair, that does sound a little sus.
And their first game against the Islanders is at home on the 30th of November, and then they play at the Rangers the next day.
And of course, the last time they played the Penguins this year is April 24th, 2022.
Wait,
last game of this.
Wait, why is the series? Why is the season going into late April now?
Because it does.
Wait, what the frick?
Because the schedule's still screwed up from when they had to have the summer tournament.
We started on time, didn't we?
No, they pushed the season back.
How hockey's going to be forever now?
Basically.
Frick. Okay.
Their last game of the season is against the Ottawa Senators at home.
Okay.
And then we had our in-person live correspondent today at the Eagles game. We would like to see his thoughts on the game next week when he returns from his Las Vegas trip. And I bet you there's not going to be some nice words in it because the Eagles did not play good today.
They did not.
It was the defensive game plan was pathetic. No one literally did anything. I was just like, oh my god, they're running up and down the field. Someone do something. And then the offense again did at least squat because our play calling is awful. We didn't run the ball again. We should have. And yeah, everyone's just playing pretty poorly. And why? Wait, how did you get the ball today, anyways? You barely ran at all, right?
Well, they were running the ball. Then Miles Sanders got hurt, and then Nick Sirianni's like, "Oh, I don't want anybody else to get hurt," and then proceeded not to run the ball the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's just an excuse. He never runs the ball.
Oh, well, Carson Wentz just scrambled in for a touchdown. Alec is once again realizing that he started Trevor Lawrence this week in fantasy rather than Carson Wentz.
Well, to be fair, I haven't paid attention to that league in a while. I've actually been very busy lately, which I'm kind of pissed about. But yeah,
Silly goose.
what?
I'm just calling you a silly goose. You got
Yeah.
a problem with that?
That sounds a little weird. Yeah, I'm just saying it sounds a little weird, Jared.
No, I know. But I'm a little weird as well. So actually, I'm very weird. But you know what? We'll ignore that.
Well, so
anyway.
let's talk about our Philadelphia Phillies.
Why don't we talk about Penn State, actually?
How about we don't?
I was saying this.
But so far, this Arizona Fall League, and yes, it is Arizona Fall League time. But Bryson Stott looks really good. Logan Ohape looks really good. McAble, amazing. And Hans Kraus is doing really well as well. So all of our favorite Philadelphia Phillies are doing really well so far this year.
I'm expecting Hans Klaus to I know I can't help but doing the accent.
Yeah, I know you have to do the accent.
Yeah. Hans Klaus. You have to do the accent there. But I honestly, but I kind of liked him in the limited time he was here, and then I expect him to be in the starting rotation within the next year or two, like maybe like a 3, 4, or 5 starter.
Yeah.
And then Stott, of course, I expect he might be the next second baseman after Segura, or maybe he could play third base and bump over to first, and then put Hoskins at DH.
So So looking at what's going on in free agency and stuff like now, it's like looks like the only positions we'll have open is left field, center field. I think Bone will stay, but to be honest, he could be traded if he doesn't perform well again. So Bone would be at third. Shortstop will be Stott. Second base will be Segura. First base, I think Reese just stays there just for reasons. Because the reason is you're probably not going to unload Gregorius's contract, so you kind of have to keep him in lineup somehow.
You could. You just have to say to like a bad team, okay, here you go. We'll give you. You'll take on the rest of his contract, and we'll give you like a low level prospect or two with him.
Yeah, but if that, yeah,
I'm sure a team like the Orioles or let's see, which other teams could be, or the Pirates, they may be willing to do that just because they want prospects and they want to, and they just want to get more of them and hope for at least a few of them could pan out. Yeah, and
yeah, and then
you all right there, Mitchell?
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like
up a storm, like him, like.
So does Chris Bryant play left field?
He
did when Schwarber got hurt. He played all over the outfield, but he's a natural third baseman.
I'll put not Story.
Brian. Oh, you're not making these fantasies again, are you?
Brian in left field and Starling Marte in center field.
You guys know what I have to deal with on a daily basis. You're witnessing it firsthand right here. Every freaking off season.
Well, it'd be easier if these things happen sooner rather than.
3rd year in a row, he's talked about Bryant too.
If the Phillies
still a possibility.
The Phillies actually go over the tax, and they want to be able to do that, but they have a cheap owner who isn't willing to do that.
Let me look. MLB free agency predictions, because I think they're starting to come out. Let's see what people are predicting.
Everyone's going with the Phillies. Mitchell Winiger.
All right, let's say here fresh predictions for the top 2021 and 22 MLB free agents this offseason. This is from September 23rd, so therefore we are not going to read it. Let's see. 10 bold free agency predictions. This is from, seems like close. Clayton Kershaw remains with the Dodgers for 3 years, $70 million.
The dude should just retire.
Verlander signs a 1 year, $18 million with a mutual option for 2023 in Detroit.
Why would he do that?
Go
Yeah,
back to
why-
Detroit, I guess. I don't know.
Seriously, no. You don't do that. You can maybe like sign like a 1-day contract or like retire there, but no, don't go back to Detroit.
Greinke signs 2 year, $45 million deal with the
Don't say the Blue
Astros.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bro, all right, this is an old article because like they're using spring training clips, so obviously that's not gonna work.
Well, I think the one that like I think Correa will probably go to the Yankees. I think because they're going to offer the most money.
Oh, here we go. This is from last week.
He's throwing around money. What else is new?
And then, so accepts qualifying authors, locks, Michael Conforto, Carlos Correa, Freddie Freeman, Clayton Kershaw, Robbie Ray, Carlos Rodon, Corey Seager, Marcus Simeon, and Trevor Story all signed qualifying offers.
What?
That is completely wrong because Trevor Story definitely isn't. Corey Seager definitely isn't. Marcus Simeon probably isn't. Robbie Ray definitely not. Freddie Freeman probably will and sign an extension. Carlos Correa will be a free agent, and Conforto, yeah, I could see it. 50-50. They have 50-50 being Steve Scalafini, John Gray, Yusei Kikuchi,
Whoa. What was the first name again?
Anthony DeScalfini.
No, DeSclafani.
You're
He's so
weird.
fine.
No, you're the weirdo because you don't know how to pronounce it.
No, you.
See, Alec, this is also very entertaining now, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Mitchell still has that Penn State loss in his mind, so
I'm still trying to find-
correctly.
Like,
Might as well bring up the PTSD bowl while we're at it.
I just want to find a good article just to read off the predictions and laugh at them. but
Okay,
I
I'll
can't.
predict that Penn State will lose to Ohio State. That's my MLB predictions.
Wow.
I think you really have to wait until the playoffs are over. Because no one's really getting a feel for who's going to where until after.
I agree with Alec on this one. We're just trying to grasp at straw. You are trying to grasp straws.
Oh, another thing, the Astros are going to smoke the Braves.
I hope so. I really hope
Yeah.
so.
The Braves aren't. They caught fire. That they've a pretty good team, but the thing is they beat a Milwaukee team that I think
That can't hit, and they beat a Dodgers team that
Choked.
yeah, choked.
and also they were extraordinarily injured.
Yeah, they don't
not so
deserve to
hard
be
with
there.
the
The
Braves.
Braves kind of
But
stumbled.
so are
but
the
this is
Braves. They don't have Acuna.
This
or
is
like
the worst
Peter
World Series ever. The only reason I'm cheering for the Astros is because I hate the Braves and I want Dusty Baker to win. That's like the only reason.
Is the other one a World
Oh
Series?
no, they have Dusty Baker. Frick, the Braves are going to win, aren't they?
Didn't Dusty Baker win it with the Nationals?
No,
Oh, he won with
no,
the Giants, but he may want the Giants.
no. He did not win with the Giants. He went to a World Series with the Giants, but they lost to the Angels.
Well, who was the manager of the? Oh, was it whoever is there now?
Dave Martinez was
And
2019.
Martinez, yeah, they fired Baker the year
Fired Baker after
No
2017.
one knew why they fired him. Actually, well, 2 offseasons.
Well, he interviewed with the Phillies job. Just imagine that we had Dusty Baker instead of Joe
Dusty
Girardi.
Baker's a choker.
No,
He's like-
I kind of want Dusty Baker now.
Dusty Baker's kind of like the baseball equivalent of Elaine Vino to me. Like he's a damn good. They're good coaches. It's just they choke come playoff time, and that's the problem.
So here's a report saying dark horse destinations for MLB's biggest 2021-2022 free agents. Kevin Gausman, Colorado Rockies.
Oh, I forgot he still exists.
Nick Castellanos. Guess who? It's a deep drive to left field at
4-0 ball game.
Citizens
Kansas
Bank
City.
Park. They have Castellanos going to the Phillies, which I could see. I would love Castellanos.
Really?
They don't need another.
Short porch, left field.
Really good pickup actually if we got him. That he'd be a really good left fielder for us.
I think that would be a great pickup for, in my opinion. Say keep
Yeah, here's the
Castellanos.
thing. Again, I agree with all of this, but when have Philadelphia teams and Logic when have those two been?
Well, Dave Dombrowski actually does have logic, so I'll
that
actually.
is true.
Yeah, that's the one reason I think people are looking forward to the Phillies offseason is because
It says it says here though they already have a pretty darn good outfielder named Bryce Harper. The Phillies could be in that same boat this winter. Phillies could be drawn to Castellanos because he didn't get much production from the right side of the plate in 2021. True. And while they don't have room for him and Harper now, that will change
Who?
when they like in
Castellanos?
the same position. That will change when the collective
Castellanos
bargaining
won't
agreement
work.
inevitably makes the designated hitter permanently universal. Plus, this wouldn't be the first instance of Castellanos being converted by the coveted by the Phillies president of baseball operations, Dave Dombrowski. It was under his leadership that the Tigers drafted and developed Castellanos into a premier prospect in the early 2010s. I totally forgot about that.
I didn't. But wait. I'm confused right now. Castellanos is a switch hitter?
No. Like in room for him. So he's a righty.
Yeah.
But they said they both play right field, which I don't understand. Why can't we just move Castellanos to left field? But
Wait, who's both? Harper?
Harper, they're both
Harper
right
played
fielders.
all around the outfield with Washington.
Exactly. I think yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here's the second one. Robbie Ray to St. Louis Cardinals. That's interesting.
That sounds reasonable.
It's not that bad.
Not that
Ooh,
far off.
this is a big one. Freddie Freeman to the guess.
The Phillies. No, logic would say the Braves, but he should just retire.
I'm gonna go with the Dodgers on this.
Close, but the Padres.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Jared, he's not
They gotta-
retiring. He's 32 years old, and he's primed to probably get a World Series MVP if they win this year.
He just gets injured all the freaking time.
Okay.
I
Anyways,
mean,
Well,
Max-
with Eric Hosmer.
I could see just because I think they don't have a good first base in there right
Yeah.
now, and they've been known to throw on money out there. So I could definitely see it, but they have to
Eric
find a way to
Hosmer is
get rid of Hosmer's contract too.
Yeah. Max Scherzer to the Blue Jays makes sense. Chris Bryant to the Astros.
I could see that too. They could- they could
Marcus
do
Semien to the Marlins.
that. Really?
Okay.
Trevor Story to the Mets. I mean, that's not really a dark horse candidate. That might actually happen, but they would have like too many infielders.
What? That means a bias.
Just imagine Bias, Lindor, and Story. That would be like the
Bias is a free agent too.
yeah. They have Corey Seager to the Mariners. Carlos Correa to the Orioles.
With Carlos Correa to the Orioles?
Yeah.
But
Wait,
why?
Wait. No.
This is definitely a troll list now that I think about it.
No.
This is called dark horse. Like it probably won't happen, but like it could happen. All right, here we go. Here's fresh predictions. All right, let's just use this one. Top 10. Marcus Stroman goes to the Mets. He basically stays there. I can see that happening.
Not surprising. Yeah.
4 years, 92 million. See that happening. Kevin
Yeah.
Gausman stays with the Giants for oh wait, no, they changed it. Blue Jays, 4 years, $100 million for Kevin Gausman.
I can see that too.
Robbie Ray goes to the Angels, 5 years, 135 million.
I could definitely see too. They could always use pitching out there.
Max Scherzer stays with the Dodgers for 2 years, $80 million.
That makes sense. He wants to stay out west, and he stays out west with the very good team.
Simeon, Giants, 5 years, $125 million.
That's interesting because they have Brandon Crawford out there right now, but I don't. But maybe they bump him over to like second base. And
No. Crawford's not going to want to move.
Mm.
Usually shortstops don't want to move
Simeon's-
to second base because they got that blind spot now with someone maybe killing them. So
Simeon's a shortstop, so one of the two would have to play second base. I don't know who it would be though.
Yeah.
Simeon's played third base, I feel like.
Could, yeah.
Simeon plays shortstop and second base. He won't play third.
Oh, I guess
But
they,
there's a DH also next year. So,
That's
then they can move Simeon.
all right, then Freeman, Braves, 5 years, $130 million. Chris Bryant. We got our first Phillies. Phillies pay Chris Bryant.
Mitchell, you made this list.
They pay Chris Bryant 7 years, $250 million.
for Chris Bryant. They give Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with okay.
That's
Nice.
$35.71 million a year.
Let's see, 240 over 7. Let's see. They paying about $34 million a year. How much are they paying Harper? So it's 330 over 30.
It's 13 over 330.
They're gonna be paying Bryant more per year than Harper.
That would be funny.
There's no way that's gonna happen.
So he would be 37 when his contract ends. How old will Harper be when his contract ends?
when he signed 2019.
Yeah, how old is
2020 season was the first, I think. Oh no,
no,
2019
2019.
2032. So I'll be Okay, so let's see.
Wait, let me look up Bryce Harper age.
We're gonna be Alex. We're almost gonna be 30. Holy moly!
Bryce Harper is 29 right now, which means he was 27 when he signed the contract.
He's
He'll
gonna
be
be 40.
40. He'll be 40.
Wait, Jared. So we'll be 29 when his contract when Bryce Harper's contract.
All right, we might have another
We're all
Phillies
gonna
one.
be 29 when his contract. Actually, no. I'll be.
Here's
I'll
Trevor
be
Story.
28. I'll almost be 29, but I'll be 28 because
Here's Trevor Story.
my birthday.
Not gonna, it's funny sound
Prediction
how
for
far-
Trevor Story: 5 years, $150 million to the Astros.
Yeah, because in that prediction, if Phillies are gonna sign Bryant, then why would
Yankees sign Corey
Right.
Seager.
Really? Not
Are you
correct.
ever
years,
gonna let Alec talk?
8 years, $280 million. All
Really? Oh, I thought they signed Correa.
right, last prediction: Carlos Correa and the Astros. Where do you think he goes?
Watch it be some random team like Toronto, but it's probably gonna be Houston. It's Toronto, isn't it? With the
I-
face you're making, it's either the Phillies or Toronto.
You know what? I'm gonna go with
Jared's in the right division with one
Oh
of his
crap!
guesses.
No, please don't be the Yankees.
Yankees.
It's not the AL.
Wait,
It's
you
not
said
the
it right.
Phillies. It's the NL East team.
You said division, but not the Blue Jays,
Wait, the Mets?
the Nationals,
Nope.
the
Right.
Marlins,
Yep.
the freaking
Wait.
Marlins.
The
Yeah,
Marlins.
right.
The
He
Marlins-
goes
Yeah,
to the
why
Marlins for 10
Phillies didn't
years,
sign there.
$340 million.
Yeah, no. Okay, yes, okay. I'm with you on laughing my tuchus off. Holy,
How was the contract for?
no way.
10 years.
I
He'll be
mean,
there till
the
he's
deal-
37.
What?
That's
There's no
probably
way
the
they
deal.
go Ryan Harper.
That's probably the deal he's going to sign for, but not with Miami.
Yeah, there's no way that's happening.
It says here, in theory, only big market teams can afford a deal like that, but quite a few are already set at shortstop. And the Dodgers and Yankees will be as well. If things go according to plan, they're laid by our previous predictions. So how about the Miami Marlins as a dark horse? They have a good young core in place, but they could stand to jumpstart and run of sustained contention with a big free agent splash. To end, it's notable that they have an MLB low 8.5 million on the books for 2022. So literally, that wouldn't even make a huge dent. He's only getting paid $34 million a year. That's like intriguing. And then last article, this is Bleacher Report, by the way. So yeah, and then it says here best and worst landing spots for top 5 free agents here. Here's Chris Bryant. Best spot, Philadelphia Phillies. Worst spot, the Miami Marlins. You don't say.
I think Philly sports reports. I don't know about things. I don't think he's gonna come to the Phillies. I think people are gonna hype him up to coming to the Phillies, but then he winds up going somewhere else.
I
Yeah.
think he's gonna go. He's either gonna stay. He's probably not gonna stay in San Francisco. Actually,
If the
I have a
Phillies
feeling
really
he's
wanted
gonna
them,
go-
why didn't they trade for him last year?
Because
logic. What's that? No, he'll probably go to like. I actually won't be surprised if he goes to the White Sox. Actually,
That would literally, he would die.
that would be a bad idea. It won't be
That
a-
would be like
Fine,
going
it's not
from
that
the
far, but
Yankees to
yeah.
the Mets after
it
you've been
happens
traded.
all the freaking time.
Best and worst spots for Marcus Semien. Best Boston Red Sox. Worst Yankees. Trevor Story. Best spot Astros. Worst spot Angels.
So they're pretty much just listing rivals at this point.
Seager. Best spot Yankees. Worst one
Worst spot, Red
Cardinals.
Sox. Oh, okay.
Carlos Correa. Best spot Blue Jays. Worst spot Tigers.
Huh.
Don't say.
Why would he go to the Tigers?
Here's another prediction one that they made. Prediction: Carlos Correa signs a $300 million contract with the Tigers.
Jesus Christ, do they want this man to die? I mean, yeah, I
They
understand.
do.
why.
And then here's another. I mean, AJ Hinch is there though, so that's
That's
actually.
true, yeah. That's one
Max
time.
Scherzer signed short-term deal
We
to
can bang
remain with the
trash cans there.
Dodgers. The Yankees signed Corey Seager to a 3-year deal, and that's basically all the.
I
predictions
wonder
they
if he actually is Kyle Seager still with the Mariners.
had. Correct.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Corey goes there, or they try to get Kyle traded somewhere to like with Corey.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing is,
true.
Corey has an option. Not
They both were number. Oh wait, no, Kyle was 15. Never mind.
Kyle Seager is an option this year.
Also MLB news. Cardinals will promote bench coach Oliver Marmol to be their next manager.
Why does the name Marmol sound so familiar? Carlos, that's why.
But on that note, we'll leave you guys off there and stay tuned for NCAA men's basketball prediction episode, which will happen next week.
Oh, and my final thoughts: Penn State lost in 9 overtime. I'm going to be laughing at Mitchell tomorrow in person. He'll
Thought
probably
we would be able to get out of the episode.
If I have a black eye next week, that's why. Although
Anyways, yes. So we'll reconvene next week for a very special episode. And once again, thank you, Alec, for joining us this week on our episode. This episode is going up on a Monday because I was too lazy to upload it on Sunday night. So, however,
also we're recording it. It's already 10:08, so that's
Yeah.
one thing.
Well, you guys made it to episode 35 of the Liberty for Philly podcast. We hope to
Penn
see you
State
for episode,
lost.
we hope to see you for episode 36. We'll see you guys next time.